What's going on, guys? I'm Dan.
I'm Rob.
And this is the Beer House Podcast. So today, just myself and Rob, we're going to be trying two beers and a snack that we decide to pick out. So let's see what happens here. We've got two beers from breweries we've tried before, but we got so many different kinds of these beers, we got to drink them. It's only fair, right?
100%.
So,
I mean, usually these two breweries have fantastic beer, and both the labels that I'm looking at right now are amazing. So
yeah, they're wicked labels.
I'm ready to hit one of them up. Which one do you think?
You know what? We're going to do this one to my right, which is a double IPA. This guy
Fantastic.
is from Fine Balance, once again from Kingston. It is called Double Pop, and it's an anniversary double IPA.
The Unicycle guys.
Yes, the Unicycle guys. It's a collaboration with Fine Balance Brewing and Town Brewery. Town Brewing is based out of Whitby, Ontario. Another brewery that makes fantastic IPAs. So they, for this pop series, I believe it was 3 of them in total, they collaborated with 3 different breweries to make 3 different types. So there was a triple IPA, there was a double IPA, and I think a single.
Wow.
So we're moving on to we're doing the double because why not go in the middle, right?
It's perfect.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we're going to open it up. And we're going to pour this thing out. Rob, tell them what the label looks like, man, because you said it looks really good.
It does. It looks like pop balloons. You know those balloons when you usually get them for parties and so on, with the letters cut out. It actually says pop. The background's pink. It's simple but beautiful little label.
Yeah, it stands out, right? It's got like it's a border. It's a white border around the label, around the pink label. Yeah, it pops in black letters and kind of bubbly looking. Well, let's see how it goes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Like I smell like stone fruit, but it also smells almost like candy too. I get a little bit of a candy smell. Yeah?
Pop.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip.
All the little different hops that they used are actually popping in my mouth right now, and it's fabulous.
It's very tasty double IPA. Like, this is really good.
Very good experiment if this is what it was. If this is something that they keep around, this is something
I would drink this.
I would drink
hands
this
down.
hands down.
Yeah, this is really good.
Something.
It's kind of smooth too. There's not much bite at the end, so you don't get. It's not very bitter.
No, it doesn't linger as long as you would think. But
No.
I mean, it's a good feeling in your tongue.
Yes, it goes down smooth, but it's got like a like a candy fruit flavor to it. It's got its pale orange color, which is nice and hazy, as nice hazy IPAs should be.
Yes, correct. But I mean, for a person that's getting into beer,
It might be a little too much.
I think this would be a little bit too much. I think it would be someone that's already drinking in IPAs, maybe
yeah,
doubles.
they're used to the flavor. Like if this was maybe a single or lighter, and maybe
This is a little bit like kick-ass.
it is. Like if you've never had an IPA before, then you
might
kind
be
of
overwhelmed.
Yeah, like you would have like a pale ale
Yeah.
or a session IPA, which is basically an IPA that's generally under 5%. Just to kind of give you that a little bit of the flavor and get you used to that type of flavor that these beers have, and then obviously you kind of work your way up from there. Single, double, whatever, right? But that being said, I mean, I've come across and I've met people that went like right off the bat to a double IPA, and they're like, "Oh, this is really good," and I was like,
Some people just have the taste buds for it.
Yeah,
Some
right.
people don't even mind
Exactly.
just enjoying something a little bit different, and then really enjoying it and having to buy it themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole point is just to experiment, right? Find out what you
100%.
like and then go from there. So, I mean, that's how I got into craft beer. I mean, I was always a big fan of like microbreweries and such because I just didn't like the big guys because I thought they sucked. But I still kind of drank them. It was never my choice type idea. So, whenever I had the opportunity to go to a brewery that was, an independent brewery,
It's helps supporting small guys as well as
exactly
the quality of the beers that they produce are
and the one thing that
spectacular usually.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the one thing that got me into it is we spoke about this last episode, cask days. Excuse me.
Yes.
Got me even more into it. I mean, it's a craft beer festival. Everything's on cask. So again, if you don't know, cask beer is basically it's almost like a draft beer, but the beer is kind of still fermenting in the cask, and it's naturally carbonated. So the flavor is a little bit more mellow, so you can probably drink like a double IPA and think it's a single, and you would get used to it more. But yeah, like they basically featured beers from each province across Canada, some in the UK and some in the States. So there was like 400 beers there. It was absolutely amazing. A lot of them are one-offs, right? You never drink them again.
Wow.
But that started getting me a little bit more into it. Like I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I'll drink some craft beers and whatever. And then my buddy was like, hey, let's check out this festival. I checked it out, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. So, I mean, yeah, it's great. So
let's give this thing a rating.
Let's do it.
What are you saying?
Oh, I was going to ask you first.
No, I pointed at you and
Damn it.
asked you first.
Damn it. It's always putting me on the spot. This guy, I'm pleasantly surprised with. I would drink it again. Have I had better? Yes. But I'm still going to give this guy about an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10 is my answer as well, buddy.
Yeah?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Nice. Okay.
That's why I wanted to wait for you to say something.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. It's great minds think alike. So.
100%.
And because, we don't have Fernando or Harminder with us.
Oh, we would have had some kind of ruining factor there.
Oh, yeah. It would have been like 3.5 out of 10.
I don't know. Maybe like 6.
Yeah,
why?
seriously.
I don't know why.
But hey, you know what? You got to have that balance. It's it makes sense. But yeah, this guy 8.5 definitely. I would drink it 100%. Again.
Correct.
And I would. Yeah, I don't know. I would drink it again. As I said, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling here because my brain's just farting.
It's fine.
It's a Friday. What do you want me to say?
It's a good quality beer.
Yeah, it's a good quality beer.
It's something that is fine tasting. And I mean, this is not even something that you should drink the whole can of. It's something that you can have like just a little bit and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and actually what I was going to say is now it kind of came to my mind about 30 seconds later, because apparently this is what happens on a Friday when you're drinking beer. But this is a beer that I might actually introduce to somebody that has been drinking somewhat craft beer, but not like to the extent that we drink it.
That's fine.
I would definitely be like, drink this shit and like it.
They would enjoy it. I mean, depends on the taste buds, but at the end of the day, it's something that is different. They have about 3 or 4 different types of hops?
I think it's got 3. Let me see here. 4 different types of hops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8% alcohol, by the way, in case you were wondering. So,
yes.
It's a little bit up there, but it's not it's not terrible. When you drink these beers, you gotta get used to the high alcohol. But the bright side is you don't have to drink as many to feel just as funky as you would normally feel if you drank
the lesser type of beer.
Exactly.
Correct.
So we're gonna move on now, though. We're gonna go to a nice snack. I think. What do you think? Should we do it?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
Let's try this little.
I got the 100%, so I gotta say yes.
The 100%, yes. The 100% of this Lay's that you have sitting over here, Dan.
Yes, it's the Chinese Lay's or Chinese version of Lay's. It's Italian red meat flavor.
Very interesting.
Yes, Italian red meat flavor.
So it's going to be some seasoning or something.
Should be. I don't know. The packaging is kind of cool because it looks like ground beef and tomato sauce.
Looks like chili
in a bowl or chili, but it's got like the basil leaves on top, and it's got the wooden spoon with the sauce in it. So
it's legit.
Trying to be traditional for Italians, but me being Italian myself, I'm looking at going, yeah. But I mean, that being said, it's a chip, so whatever.
Again.
I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, it's just basically their version. So it does say Lay's in English. Everything else is not in English, so unfortunately I can't really read anything to you. But it is a blue packaging, and it's got those pictures on it with the chips and the meat. So let's open it up and see what it's like, and hopefully it works.
Let's try this.
So I'm going to have a little bite here. Go for it. Okay.
Okay. So this is simple.
Yeah, very simple. Like on first bite, it tastes like a mild barbecue chip. Almost.
But with another.
It's got something to it.
It's like almost like a meat flavor. I don't know if it's a meat flavor, but it should be red meat flavor.
I think it's more like tomatoey, maybe.
Tomatoey.
Like that's what I'm tasting. It's almost like a really.
Yeah, but it's not
like a weak barbecue chip with a bit of like ketchup in it or something.
But it's not identified properly in there.
Yeah, it's not like
it's something so vague that it just kind of slips off your tongue. And you're like,
Yeah, it's really vague.
Is it really hitting me? or not?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I would eat it again, hands down.
Oh, it's a light chip. Yeah, this is something you can mow down.
But
all day.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, if you didn't tell me this was like an Italian red meat flavored chip, I'd be like, "Oh, these are pretty good barbecue chips." All right, thanks, man.
Exactly.
Like I just wouldn't.
Like
I
a
wouldn't
knockoff
know.
version of a barbecue chip, which is just like super lightly seasoned.
Yes, it's not. I didn't find that salty either. Actually,
No.
Speaking of light seasoned.
No salt at all.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean,
right?
obviously there's salt, but I think the red meat flavoring was overdoing it.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I mean,
I give this thing at least a 7. This is a good one. We've had the other Lays, and the other ones were a little bit kind of disappointing. This one has actually been not
it's
bad
one of
at
the
all.
better ones. Yeah, I was gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
And I mean, like basically based on the fact that I would eat it again, hands down.
Yes.
It's a good chip, but again, I never would. It doesn't taste like
You
what it
wouldn't
says.
pick this off the shelf.
Well, I might pick off the shelf out of curiosity, but yeah.
With that wording right there,
With
Italian red meat flavor.
No, I would still do it only out of curiosity. I'd have to do it.
The once which we have, so now
Exactly, but now that I know what it tastes like, it's kind of like, I'll just get barbecue chips. Who cares?
makes sense.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but still not too bad. It was picked up at one of our supermarkets that we go to, and yeah, if you're ever in those supermarkets that carry more than just North American snacks, go for it. I think you might like it. And if you don't, blame Rob. It's not my fault.
Oh well, I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on where you shop. If you have the access to these types of supermarkets, it's fantastic. If you can get to them, it's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
The quality and the types, I mean, again, we're just testing these things out. We're walking in there blind. We're grabbing these things off the shelves based off of the, like literally the features of the packaging and the pictures that are there, or the wording that's like popping out at us, or the words that are not popping out at us because we're looking at the pictures of the food on them. That which look appealing to us, but at the end of the day, when we're looking at this Lay's right now, I mean, it's simple, and the reason why we probably bought it was because it was Lay's, not because of the picture.
Well, yeah, you know what?
I said Italian red meat. And
To
we're
be
like,
honest,
whoa.
To be honest, when I picked this up, I didn't realize it was Lay's. I just saw Italian red meat flavor, and I saw a blue bag. The actual blue color of the bag, it's like almost like a royal blue.
That brought you right in.
It totally did. And I was kind of like, okay, it's a blue bag. That's wicked. And I looked, I saw Italian red meat flavor. I'm like, cool. And then I kind of looked up, and I'm like, oh, it says Lay's. I'm like, yeah, screw it. Let's get it. Why not? So,
Good choice.
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to move on to our last beer,
Yes.
or second beer.
Second beer. I mean, the first one was amazing. So, I mean, I'm hoping that this one.
This one should be good, but we'll see how it is.
Okay.
So this beer here is, again, from another brewery that we've featured. It's from Blood Brothers. They're based in the Junction, so Toronto, Ontario.
Fantastic brewery.
They're amazing. They brew a shit ton of beer, and it's like they're consistently good.
Yes.
So I can't complain.
And qualities and types of beer.
This series is their sour series called Paradise Lost.
Yes.
Now,
Seen this one before.
Yes, we've had their Paradise Lost series before, and they're very good. Some have been very sour, and some have been not so sour. But this guy in particular, it's a fruited sour, so it's got guava, banana, and pineapple in it.
Ooh, guava.
Yeah, so the guava and the pineapple right off the bat, I'm like, I'm in.
Yes.
So
This is going to be good.
it should be. It's 6% alcohol.
Fine.
So we're going to crack this one open, and then Rob is going to describe the label to you as I pour. Go for it.
Your hands are all over the label, Danny.
Well, whatever.
The label is yellow. It has a sun.
It's like a sunset.
It's a sunset in the background,
With
saying
palm
Paradise.
trees and the beach.
Paradise Lost within the actual sun itself. Palm trees around the edging. A diagonal line going across, which outlines basically the
horizon.
horizon, and then a beachfront and two people standing at the horizon level, looking upwards to Paradise Lost.
Yeah, and it looks like where the sun would be, because in like a white circle it says Paradise Lost in that.
Yeah,
But like, if this is a real picture, it'd probably be the actual sun.
it's a really good. It's a really good label. It's very detailed.
Very detailed. And this guy is similar looking to the last beer. It's hazy. It doesn't look like a sour beer at all. Like if I looked at it, I would guess a hazy IPA.
Yes, 100%. But after smelling it,
Yeah, I can smell it first now.
it's
I can smell banana right off the bat.
yeah, the banana is huge.
Oh, wow. I smell banana and I smell a little bit of pineapple.
Let's see what we taste.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my God, it's like a roller coaster flavor. I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The quality of the banana is still there, but I think the pineapple.
Yeah, it's
The
like
pineapple is
the pineapple kind of comes through. For me, I got banana initially, and then a little bit of pineapple with the guava. Wasn't much guava though.
yeah,
Then it
the
kind of
guava's
died
there
out.
maybe, but
Yeah, but not really.
not really.
And then the pineapple kind of died out, and now my aftertaste, it's banana still.
It is banana.
But I didn't find it sour at all.
The banana is no, it's not. It's not tremendously sour.
No, it might
is
be
a
for
little
somebody who
bit
has
sour.
time. Yeah, if you haven't had sours before,
Yes.
it might be a little sour.
It is sour, but not.
Not
Tremendously.
overly sour at all. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm liking this beer quite a bit.
This is a well balanced beer.
Yes.
It doesn't overwhelm you, and it doesn't linger for very long as well.
No, and it's refreshing, and I mean, obviously, you gotta like banana because you definitely taste the banana in this.
After the third sip, I would say it's even easier drinking than it was at the first sip.
Oh, for sure, I can imagine. But yeah, you get that wave of flavor. I love that. I love beers that do that. Like instead of getting the flavor just straight through the whole way, you you start tasting little things. You're like, oh, I taste this. Oh, whoa, I taste this. Oh my God! Like I love.
Different tones.
Yeah, the fact that you can brew beer and have it taste that way to me just like it blows my mind.
To the brew masters everywhere, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, well, yeah, they have to keep doing what they're doing, or else I'll be upset.
No, I mean these guys are all of them, regardless of the brewery. But I mean, Blood Brothers especially. These guys are doing a fantastic job. They keep coming out with great stuff.
Yeah, I mean they come up with like experimental stuff, and it still works. Like there's so many breweries out there that do the same thing, and I mean some work, some don't.
Of course.
Some are like, oh, here's a s'more stout with, graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate chip, and then you're tasting it, you're like,
A little bit-
it tastes like a regular stout, but
a little
okay,
bit
cool.
too much.
Yeah, sometimes a little too much for sure. I mean, these guys sometimes have had a little too much, but it always comes out on top. Like you still taste it, and you still taste what is in the beer.
Correct. It's exactly. You're tasting the exact product what they are featuring on the label. They're saying sour ale. It is sour. Guava. Okay, a little bit, but the banana and pineapple, that is
Yeah,
a key factor in this delicious beer
at
tonight.
the same time, it could be also like they may have put the same amount of guava in there, but maybe the guava just the combination of the pineapple and the guava just pineapple and banana
overpowers it.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I mean at that point it is what it is, but it doesn't make it any less tasty. This is a really good beer, and for those that don't want a traditional beer like say an IPA or a stout, if you're okay with sours, again, this isn't super sour.
It's not.
On
a scale
you
of
want like
sourness?
a fruity-ish type beer, go for it.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on the sourness level.
On scale 1 to 10 on the sourness level, I'd say 5.
Yeah, I would say about. Yeah, we've had some crazy sours. I would say probably about a 5.
Yeah, it doesn't
5.5 max,
linger, and
but
it doesn't.
5.
You only catch her out on the first initial sip, but then by the time you finish that sip, it doesn't really. It fades away.
Yeah, within the third, fourth, it's kind of just
Yeah,
regular beer almost.
yeah, pretty much. But it's
But it's still it still hits the back of your throat, and you're just like, this is a great pineapple/banana beer.
this beer is just it is a really good beer. Let's go with ratings. You know what? You go first.
Yes, I'm going to give this a 9.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. I was going to say a 9 and 10 as well. Like this is, I mean, Paradise Lost for me is sometimes not necessarily hit or miss, but they've had some where it's like, it's okay. Like say 7.5 out of 10 worth, and they've had some that were better.
This one hits all the points.
Yeah, this one is definitely on the top.
This
end
one
for
hits
me.
all the points. I mean, not just on the smell, the taste. It kind of puts you in 1, 2, 3 stage. So you kind of taste all the flavors.
You do, and that's what you want out of a beer. I mean, you're buying these beers, and I mean they might be a little bit more expensive than what you find for a regular beer, but it's definitely worth it because you're getting a lot more flavor, and B, sometimes you get more alcohol out of it, so you don't have to drink as much, right? Like I was saying before. So
the flavor is the key. At the end of the day, everybody wants to, not just drink generic.
exactly, and
You might want something a little bit more. I mean, with your foods, you want, certain types of spices, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
exactly.
I mean, why drink general when you can have something better and you don't have to drink as much, bloating, so on and so forth. I mean, we're drinking a lot of beer on this podcast, which is fantastic. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's not a matter of how much you drink.
It's what you drink.
It's what you drink.
Yeah.
So
And
put some good quality stuff in your bodies. Make sure you know what it is. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Most of these beers are, pretty simply made. But again, we really don't know.
they're really good. You get better quality ingredients. I mean, with the big guys, your hops are everything's mass produced, right?
Correct.
So you're not getting the same quality.
No.
These guys, like some of these, well, not some, most of them, they'll go to farms and to get their hops.
They actually walk and go there and pick them out.
They actually do everything, they're hands-on with stuff.
The last beer that we drank with the 4 different hops, I mean, you could taste.
Yeah, there was a little bit more flavor to it, yeah, for sure. You can taste different variations.
Different variations. So I mean, just that alone shows you that they're able to get to that level. And I mean, when you have all these other companies that are just mass producing big brands that are just mass producing what they have, again, it's the majority. It's not to the people that actually, think they should be drinking quality product.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, don't you want to support a local business? You know what I mean? So
and that would be the number one thing that they should be thinking about as well.
For me, that's huge. Like, I mean, if the local business sucks, then it's like, well, whatever, you're screwed. I don't care. But
some people just don't know that.
No, exactly. But I mean, when you have a business, say like these guys, or like the other brewery, Fine Balance, that brew good beer.
But they wouldn't be able to get their name out there, Dan, because not everyone's looking down the street. Everyone's walking around the door, walking around, and then finally figuring out they have to go to the LCBO, and they have no choice, so they end up buying whatever's there.
Well, that's in Ontario, the LCBO, by the way.
Correct.
It's the Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
Yes, we're kind of stuck over
here. It
here.
varies from province to province, and I guess from country to country.
Correct.
Wherever you can get your beer. But yeah, I mean, like wherever you get your beer, I mean, I would say go look around, look at the obscure shit. Look at stuff that you don't recognize.
That stuff is going to be maybe the best stuff you've tried.
That's pretty much all I can say for that.
But again,
I mean, that's what I said to you.
You have to try them. Yes, correct. You have to try. Without trying, you can never progress in anything.
Well,
I mean, drinking beer, it's the toughest thing because most people are just fine with.
They're conditioned to think that beer is just one type of beer, right?
Correct.
Correct. A lot of people are like, all beer tastes the same. It's like, no, because you're drinking the wrong beer.
Oh, I don't like that one. It's too bitter. Yeah. Well, that's initial taste testing for you. But I mean, after you've had 1 or 2 of those, and you've actually had and allowed yourself to have them and try to enjoy them, you might end up with something amazing.
Yes, but not only that as well. I mean, if you don't like bitter, go with sour. You don't like sour, go
tough.
with like a regular stout that's more caramelly and coffee flavored.
Correct.
If you don't like that too much, go with something that's like more like a pastry stout or even like a dark lager or
different saison.
Or saison or anything. Like there's so many different types of beer. Beer is, I mean, when you look at it, it's very similar to wine, because there is a big spectrum. I mean, they all have, it still tastes like beer. I mean, technically there are beers that don't taste like beer. I'll tell you that right now. Like there are smoothie sours, which are basically beer made with unfermented fruit.
Gotcha.
So you're getting like the fresh fruit taste.
I think we've had a few of those before.
We haven't yet. We will feature some though.
Oh, not on the podcast at least.
Yeah, not on the podcast.
Yes.
But they're very you gotta keep them refrigerated because the can will explode if it's not. I mean, they're only good for a certain amount of time, so on and so forth. But they literally just taste like a smoothie. They don't taste like beer at all. So I mean, it's great if it's one of those things where, I don't mind beer, but I'm not a huge fan of the taste, and I find it's very similar. You can have something like that, but the idea is that there's so much variation that, in order to learn about that variation and to, you just got to try shit.
You just got to try.
That's what comes down to.
There's no other way. And at least we're trying here to educate. So you'll know that, hey, at least if I go out there and I try a sour ale of some sort at any place, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Maybe it's worth the $5, maybe it's not.
Yeah,
we don't
maybe
know.
It's not, but
at the end of the day, you tried it, and if you try it in the second place, third place, you might end up enjoying trying different types of beer.
Well, you might. And what I was going to say is, worst comes to worst, if it doesn't work out and you absolutely hated it, just blame Rob and be like, you know what? That bastard on that podcast,
no, it's not going to happen.
Like, seriously.
They'll all be happy. They'll be happy.
Well, they should.
They will be happy. Initially, everybody won't be happy, but if you can have these beers with a friend, it would be
much better.
Very suggested.
But I take it back. We'll blame Fernando instead of Rob. I apologize. Is that better?
Whatever you like.
Okay, appreciate that.
It's not a problem either way. But I mean, if you can enjoy these beers with a friend, if not, and you're just at home and you want to drink by yourself, not a big deal. I mean, some of these cans, some of the types of cans are quite large. But again, if you're going to be trying them, if you have a buddy,
they're not really large. I mean, it's 473 ml cans, so you're looking at basically a pint of beer.
They might not like that.
Granted, yes. Okay,
so this is what I'm saying. At
So
least you can split it
yeah,
with a
somebody,
buddy.
split
And
it, yeah.
at the end of the day, it might not go to waste. Somebody else might enjoy it.
They might.
And if not, throw it down the drain, go to the next one. Pick up three at least.
Or stomach it and drink it, and that's it. You never know. But, I mean, I never liked IPAs when I first tried them. I thought they were, it's not the bitterness. I think it was the overall flavor. I mean, granted, it also depends on the types of IPAs, because there's literally like 12, 13 different types of IPAs out there. There's not just one specific type. So, I mean, I would try these IPAs and, you know, because I was like, hey, man, you know, like microbreweries, awesome. And apparently that's how I talk. So,
all the time.
All the time.
You just talk like this on the podcast.
I'm just a surfer all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But, I mean, like, I went to I went to the bars and I ordered them, and the thing with them was, I noticed right off the bat, is I didn't like the way they taste initially, but then when I got halfway through the pint, I still kept drinking it. And people would be like, do you like it? I'm like, no, not really. And I kept drinking it. But then when I finished, I was like, actually, it wasn't that bad. It was a little bit like, because I got used to it, right?
And this is the thing. Once you get used to one, and then you get used to the next one, you'll start enjoying the different types, because you'll start enjoying the flavors. Your mouth will enjoy the flavors. Like, you'll actually taste the flavors.
Just like food.
Exactly. 100%. Most people just don't have the taste buds for it, and they just lack it.
Exactly.
That's all I can say. And once you develop it, most of the IPA drinkers are amazing.
Exactly. So on that note, speaking of amazing, we're going to cut it for the night. We will be back again, most likely with our friend Harminder, and we'll be trying more amazing beers and hopefully more amazing snacks.
Fantastic.
So wish you all a good night as well. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Over and out.